very interesting conversation off air that will continue. We'll have to have definitely a part 2. But I don't think we'll call it the Kelly Square 4 when we do the part 2, though, because this is not about that. So I do want to get back to, the Kelly Square 4, and then we want to invite you guys to come back.
Yes, please. I really enjoyed all you guys.
Let me know. We're booked up next Sunday and the Sunday after, but we are free the Sunday after that. So you guys let me know what Sunday you would like to come back so that we can have the conversation that we had off air. Because I like that. Because see, a lot of people think that I'm one-sided. I'm not. I listen to everyone's opinion and let you speak freely. You just can't cuss on air. But you can speak as freely as you want. And I will listen to you. Actively listen. But then I'm also going to counter with how I feel about the situation at the same time. So I'm all for unity of us having this conversation, having the dialogue.
Yep.
And then moving forward. Because I don't go backwards. So I definitely want to move forward in the conversation. I don't want to stay back there with it.
Well, we do go backwards to fix up some of the stuff.
No, because we can't fix what happened then. We cannot do that.
Well, now we can take to change the mindset. You gotta.
No. You really can't because it's already done. Okay. So that mindset is already done.
Okay.
So going back to what happened to this person is not going to change anything today because it already happened. That mindset is already done. So we need to move forward with what are the next steps? What can we do now so that same thing doesn't happen again?
Okay.
That's how I see it. So the Kelly Square 4. So there is a court date. How can people support you or have questions for you? And when is that court date?
We're going back to court on this Thursday, and again on Friday probably. The trial's finally starting, so I think I've lost count, but it's somewhere around 7 trips we've had to the courthouse at this point. Just trying to get some justice here. So we appreciate when people come out, even for just a little while, maybe a little rally in front of City Hall, but just be with us in the courtroom so that folks know that everyone's watching, and folks know that this is something that's important to our community and that it's something we want to change. So it's about the Kelly Square 4, but it's first and foremost it's about Black Lives Matter, and that's why we all do it.
Yep. Yes, sir.
And I guess I would just add that because people often ask, why are you guys taking it all the way to court? Why are you taking it to trial for disturbing the peace charge? You're just going to get a little ticket, $150 fine. Again, right? Wrong question.
Right.
The real question is, why is the city using taxpayer dollars, dragging us in and out of court, 7 trips so far? We just assume that the trial is going to move forward. In and out of court, using taxpayer dollars. This kind of stuff happens, and Julius can probably elaborate a little bit more on this. I know he's been doing some research in this area. But really, this is how our court system is really designed. Dragging people in and out of court, spending a lot of money for disturbing the peace charge. And so, but to answer the question for people who ask, well, the city is doing this, but why are you all going forward? Why didn't you just settle? Why didn't you just take the deal from the city manager?
Right.
If we do that, we are essentially saying that what we did by exercising our right to speak out against injustice, to speak out against racism, that what we did is wrong.
Right.
And we're doing this in a country that says that we have a constitutional right to do so. And beyond the constitutional right, I would just say that, I think we lose sight that, I know this is going to be a little bit much for people, right? But if we just stop for a second, these laws and policies and these rules and all this other stuff, this is not, in my view, it's not real. It's like somebody created these borders, somebody created these laws, somebody created these policies, but I was born a free person.
Right.
Like, regardless of what country you're in, where you at, you're born into these systems. But I am a free person. I can move. I should be able to move through the world the way I want to. I should be able to say what I want to. Right. The idea that you are going to be brought to court for saying that Black Lives Matter is it is such a violation of freedom at the most basic level. It's hard to even comprehend.
Right.
Now I keep hearing that you going to court because you were saying Black Lives Matter. I didn't see that in anything though. So where did that come from?
Black Lives Matter?
No. I know where that came from, but the reasoning for the arrest, I keep hearing that is because you guys were saying black. Where did that come? Because I didn't see that on nothing. Where did that come from?
You mean you didn't see it? Well,
I didn't see it in the paper. I didn't see. You know what I mean? Like I didn't.
Black Lives Matter. You didn't see that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they are taking us to court for protesting in a way that they think is illegal. Yeah, and we were protesting for Black Lives Matter, and so they're taking us to court for saying Black Lives Matter in the middle of the street. Yeah, it's I'm not entirely sure I understand your question, and so I'm not sure if I'm entirely answering it, but basically, it's if we were. If you remember that time last year, there was like a bunch of highway shutdowns. There was, like much, there were lots of takings of public ways, right? And folks were all up in their imagination about how if you take the street, then what if an ambulance tried to get through? And what if some hypothetical person was in danger? Then you would then be causing them a danger. Right. And then that actually happened with us in Keller Square, and we let the ambulance through. Right.
Right.
So basically, the reason why we are on trial right now is not for blocking the street. Right. It's not for public safety. It's not for any of the reasons that they will say. Right. It's really because these white folks don't like what we had to say about how they mistreat black folks.
Right.
That's like at the heart of it. That is at the heart of it. And Ed Augustus and Joe Petty and D.A. Early can pretend as if it is about something else. They can pretend that it's about public safety. They can pretend, they're gonna pretend because they're defending a racist institution that until it is exposed for what it is going to continue to be racist and protect itself. The city and the state have spent thousands upon thousands of dollars so far. And then on a 2-day trial, right, where they got to send 60 jurors so that we can vet it down to 6 or 12, right? They're going to spend thousands upon more thousands of dollars, right? You compare that pile of money to and add how much money they spent persecuting black organizations in Worcester, right? Compared to how much money they spend on the race dialogues and see which one is greater. You know what I'm saying? People vote with their dollars. The purchases you make matter. And the city votes with its dollars. And it's investing more in being racist than it is in anti-racism. And that's just facts.
And I also think that we need to reframe the discussion of public safety. I'm really sick of hearing when people think public safety, what do we think of? Police, right? So we think public safety, police. Do you think that it's going to keep the public safer to find us guilty of peacefully protest? Is that going to keep the public safer to not block streets? Is that going to keep for 4.5 minutes? Is that going to keep the public safe? What would keep the public safer is investing in the public. What would keep the public safer is investing in schools, investing in children, investing in families, investing in all the things we know. We know there is a host of research. I teach criminology, the theory of crime causation. We know what causes crime, and what causes crime is not investing in the public. When you don't invest in neighborhoods, you don't invest in jobs, you don't invest in schools, you are creating. Look at what's happening at North High. You don't think that that's a violation of public safety? They should be indicted. The city manager should be indicted. The mayor should be indicted. Particularly Gaffney should be, and Luke should be indicted. These are people who should be indicted because what they are doing is not keeping the public safe. It is enacting violence on the public. And you think charging 4 protesters is somehow going to make the public safer? That's not what this is about. And we don't entertain any thought that it's about public safety. It isn't. If it's about public safety, won't you just restructure Kelly Square? It's not about.
Come on, Mike. I'm gonna let you say the last thing. I guess.
That's crazy, but shout out to. I'm really proud to call these people my comrades, and they give me energy, and I love them tremendously. And that's real talk. What Sonia had said earlier about this. Look, that's not hyperbole. That's why I'm at. Like, in terms of when I asked the question to Julius, well, really to the group, but Julius responded, "What can we do other than protesting?" One of the things, and it's in a way, it's a form of protest. But I'm serious. Like, we need to go after Lukes and Gaffney and call for them to be arrested. I'm not talking about protests. I want you to be charged. And until we, as long as we keep having these protests and these gatherings without teeth, without the justice or else, or what? What are you going to do? You want me to do this? What are you going to do? You ain't going to do nothing, right? So that's why I'm serious about that. If we need to have more intentionality. I would like to see more intentionality on calling for real and serious consequences for these perpetrators of this violence. The same way they would do for us. The system works for us. I mean, maybe it's not working for us, but it's supposed to be. It's supposed to represent us. They work for us. They're out of line. They're out of pocket. And they need to be checked. And I'm serious about that.
So that is the thoughts of Dres St. Mike. I want to say thank you to everyone.
Yes.
For coming on the show and letting us, dive in a little bit more to get an understanding from your perspective as to what happened and the steps going forward. I think we need Ed Augustus in the building because I want to ask him a few questions. So I will definitely reach out to Ed this week to see if I can't get him to come on.
Yeah.
And maybe I can get it also y'all are here too. Because that would work better for me because I don't have to go back and be like, all right, now I got to go get them and ask them the question. If I get everybody in the same room, you can see for yourself the interaction and then you have, because that's how I am. I'd rather get everybody in the room because this back and forth gives me a headache.
Would y'all sit in the room?
And I got 4 kids, so I don't have time to play. So it's like everybody need to be in the same room. So I'm gonna do that.
You need to get that. That's
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Anyway, Mike, you gotta come back.
No, they
one
all
day.
have to come back. They all have to come back.
I know. I already said that though.
Okay. All right. We need to talk after
me
the air.
and you
We gotta discuss some things.
First Sunday,
Shots
you
fired.
beef with me.
Right.
We
What's going
people.
on? All right.
But thank you again.
Thank you.
Please come back. I really enjoyed it.
E-Class, you did your thing. Shout out to E-Class.
Look, and I love how Mike just take over. You know what I mean? Like he can't even do it. Like Mike swear he's still part of the team.
arguing. We forgot.
See, I argue and still talk to my people.
Okay.
See, that's that mother thing.
Okay.
So shout out to DJ E-Class too for rocking with us today.
Yeah, really gonna be back next week.
He better. Because I'm about to find somebody. It's hard to find people stuff. But I just want to let you know that we'll be back next Sunday with the voice of the voiceless.
Oh boy.
From WCUW 91.3. That's going to be an interesting conversation as well. And then the following week, we do have an artist coming in, Mr. Edward Picasso Spalding, I think his name is, out of Boston. He's a young cat trying to do his thing. He was just with French Montana. So, we have a few things.
Can you sing like better than me?
He better. Because you do know.
Shots fired!
Listen.
Shots
I'm talking
fired!
about him. He better be able to sing because you can't come on here and you can't sing.
Shout out to Jelly Barbecue Sauce and Mustard.
Oh, Lord. But everybody, thank you for rocking with the Positive Impact Show. Peace.